So this conversation is actually brought to you by last night's event. So I mean, just seeing all the artists that were involved in the card
Yeah.
kind of got me thinking. Because look, we had, I mean, Zeman, Big Yasa, we had McLean, we also had Barack Jacuzzi, Benzema. Like, these are people who are deeply entrenched in the music industry.
Yep.
And I'm happy Yasa wasn't fighting Benzema, because like I have songs with both of them, so I don't know who I would
Who
be
to
able
root for.
I don't know who I'd be able to root for.
Oh, are you just rooting for the people who you've worked with?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did they win?
Yes.
No.
Benzema didn't win. Sorry, Benzema didn't win. So I took half an L. No, but I didn't. To be honest, I kind of thought Barack would win. So maybe I'm a bit dishonorable towards Benzema. But maybe we'll talk about that on the side. But anyway, so it got me thinking. So obviously, this whole celebrity fight nights thing is co-owned by Barack Jacuzzi, and he's been in the music scene, not very prominent at the moment, but there was a time when he was doing a bunch of music and releasing a bunch, and it got me thinking. There's a trend. And I say trend, this has been happening for the longest time, where artists get very, very entrenched in other endeavors outside of music and actually become very, very successful at those endeavors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it gets me thinking, is the music industry today, or is the strategy for a lot of artists today to use music as a stepping stone to allow them to leverage their fame, their notoriety, and their audience into these different endeavors and make a bunch of money out of that? Is that where we are in our music industry? Are there artists who are still purists and they're like, yo, all I want to do in my life is make music and live off of that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that even possible?
Is music the middleman to the bag?
You sound like that sounds so ChatGPT. Is music the middleman to the bag?
The middleman to the bag?
Here are a few examples. The dash.
Exactly.
What's that dash called?
Thinking. Oh, the M dash.
Yeah.
I hate the M dash though, because sometimes I do put an M dash naturally when I'm writing, and I don't want them to.
Cap.
It's true. Sometimes
no real person actually uses that dash.
I'm telling you, I have used it in academic writing, and I have to now delete it and find.
So you think you're better than us?
Yeah.
You think you're better than me?
I think I'm better than ChatGPT and its rules. Is music the middleman? Honestly, so I think to start, it's important to just acknowledge the fact that there's so much of a negative conversation on, like, everywhere you go, different podcasts, different music industry professionals, interviews, whatever. There's no money in music. And it's kind of conflicting because a lot of people say there's money in music, but then some people who've been in it keep saying that there's no money in music, there's no money in music, there's no money in music, there's no money in music. We clearly see a decline in numbers in terms of people who are actually purchasing music. We've seen streaming dilute the value of music, and as an extension, the value of artists. And that's been happening as technology develops, right? So if we really look at it in that way, I think it is clear to see that artists are smart. And many artists, so like you said, right? There's purists. There's people like you and me, I think. I don't know if you're like that.
No, we're not, because we're literally on a podcast.
No, but this is different though. This is different. This is not okay, fine. Let's lump ourselves in there. Dang, I have to take myself, but I still think I'm a purist. So you have the purists who it's music for them, right? I want to make music. I want to create. I want to be part of the creative world. I want to, that kind of thing. And then there's people who use music as a means of making money. It's just something they're good at. If you have a talent, you're good at it, and you use it to make money. Those people once they find that sounded so Kenyan, those people, once they find out that, hey, there's a better way to make money, and I don't have to stress with labels and do all of these different things that maybe I hate doing as an artist. Of course, they're going to pivot. I think that's what's happening. There's a lot of artists who are just saying, hey, listen, man, I love this music thing and I want to create. I'm going to keep creating. It's just that creating is not going to be my main thing. And so you have big artists which we'll get to, who have leveraged, and I guess that's the conversation now, that people who leverage music has become, or being an artist has become something where you leverage your artistry and the notoriety, and the rooms you're getting and the conversations you're having with different people, into creating a product that you can sell or investing in something. And yeah, I think
I mean, like, even in our industry, we had one of the best examples for this in Mudhoni, the drama queen. Like,
Yeah.
bro, like, she's created like a really massive enterprise with Good Times Africa and Blankets and Wine.
Mhm.
And it's highly lucrative. And I know she would probably be at a crossroads, but she is actively releasing music. But like, I know there is a crossroads where it's like, well, I'm doing this one thing that's, highly successful. What becomes like the
music then the music then decorates that. So that's the main thing. That's the cake. And then music is like the icing. That's a terrible analogy.
music is the icing.
It's a terrible
No,
analogy.
it's
But
actually,
then
it's not a terrible analogy, to be honest. But maybe would music be the icing or the cake?
no, music
Well-
can be the cake because there's no cake in music.
Because there's no cake in
Yeah.
music. Okay, when people say there's no cake in music, is that true? Well, in
No, there's
our
no money in music.
yes.
Oh.
I understand what you mean.
Oh, my bad,
I
man.
understand what you mean. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
My bad. Yeah, go ahead.
But especially in the Kenyan music scene, I would say it's true. Like, there is some money to be made, but the problem with the music industry, and it's not just in the Kenyan industry, but in multiple scenes, the money from music is very sporadic.
Yeah.
Like, the money from music depends on how often can you get booked for shows.
Mhm.
How
Oh, when you talk about music, you're talking about the totality, like shows and everything.
Yes.
The bigger
Yeah.
music. Okay.
how frequently can your team secure brand partnerships?
Yeah.
And then how many streams and units can you move?
Publishing. How
Which
how
would
much
be-
of your music can you push into? Yeah.
Yes, and then also, yeah, how proficient is you, or are you and your
It's-
team at securing sync opportunities with movies and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And those are things that happen, but the way they happen is, or it happens for a very small percentage, especially in this industry of ours, right?